and welcome to Serasana Bee Cave. I'm Christie Garby, I'm the owner here. And joining me today is our lead acupuncturist, Kirsten Carter.
Hello.
Hi. So we're going to be here for about the next 15 minutes, and our purpose today is to talk to you about how acupuncture can support you during this pandemic of COVID-19 in your health and well-being. It can be supportive of the immune system as well as helping with inflammation issues. And we're all looking for ways to keep ourselves in our best shape and physical and mental health ever. And so we believe that acupuncture has a lot to offer, but it's also sometimes misunderstood. So Kirsten, I wanted to ask you, start off by saying, what is acupuncture in terms of the philosophy behind how it treats disease, and how is that different from like Western medicine that we're mostly used to?
Okay. Well, there's what we call meridians or channels in the body, and those are symmetrical along both sides.
Okay.
There's 12 regular channels, and those particular 12 regulars runs through an organ, so that defines that system. And so what we're doing when we're needling into a channel is we're choosing a point that either supports the system and gets more strength into the system, or if that system is too strong and excessive, then we're dispersing the energy.
And I think energy is a key word here,
so
isn't it? Because
chi
is a common
yeah.
word that's used with acupuncture, and
Yeah.
so chi is where it's all at.
Exactly. And so sometimes the chi gets stuck in a certain place, and that'll cause pain in the body, or it could, after time, cause disease in the body. So we're using the needles to unstick that bound up energy, to let it run freely through the meridian or through the body.
So that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And people have a lot of misconceptions about the needles. And so we're going to talk about the needles for a little bit, because we get phone calls here and people ask us all the time, how painful is it? And they have the impression that the needle is like a needle they would see in the doctor's office.
Right, like a syringe.
Like a syringe,
Yeah.
yes, which is very different. So can you talk about what is the purpose of the needle?
Sure. So the needle, first of all, is nothing like a syringe. It's a tiny, like a filament, like a little, almost like the size of a very small wire. This is an example of it. I don't know if we can
hold it
catch
up to the camera. You can see there.
So it's very tiny, and this is actually one of our thicker needles. So it could even be smaller than this. And so when you're receiving a acupuncture treatment, you're going to feel a needle go in. It's just a slight little pinprick. And then once it's in there, you might feel the chi moving around, especially if there's stuck chi in there. You might feel like a little surge of energy, or a little tingling, or a little warmth. It's different for everybody. But once the needle's in, you won't feel anything painful per se. And if you do, like say we hit a nerve, whatever, we back the needle off. Also, nerves often will move out of the way. This happens rarely that a nerve will get hit, but when it happens, it's just like a zing, like ah, and then we just kind of shift it so that it's okay.
So we thought that we would have Kirsten insert a needle into a point in my hand just to demonstrate what it looks like, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling after she inserts it. Now, I receive acupuncture fairly regularly, so first of all, we're trying to keep as much distance from each other as possible. And when she's practicing here, she is wearing a mask. So we're putting my hand up near the camera here. Okay.
So we find the point, we palpate the point, make sure that we've got it in the right spot, and we have a tube here, and we're just going to push the needle in and then insert it a little more, make an adjustment, and that's it.
So it's in there right now. You can kind of see it. I'll put it even closer up. And you were telling me earlier that this point is
large intestine 4. And that can be used, it's a very common point. It can be used for pain. It can be used for anything in the head or face that's painful, or for an invasion, a wind invasion is what we might use it for in combination with another point up here, lung 7. And wind invasion just means anything like a virus or an allergen that comes in through the wind and comes into your body. You inhale it, or it comes in through the skin. And so that in combination with this point is it helps your body defend itself.
So that's exactly where we were going. Okay, we're going to go back here. We'll have you take that out. So what I felt, just so those of you who are watching, I felt just a little bit of, like you said, a little bit of energy swirling around the point. I felt no pain at all when it went in. And after a while, it just kind of backed off a little bit. So, and I experience, when I receive acupuncture, I experience all different types of sensations depending on the points and parts of the body.
Right.
And I think we should also point out that just because you have a pain in your shoulder or your face or your neck, that's not necessarily where the needles are going to go, because you're really working on these channels.
Right. So for instance, that large intestine 4, that channel starts here, goes all the way up and ends right here. So that's why it helps treat anything on the face.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just a needle, this point down here helps up here.
So say I'm new to all of this and I'm like, okay, I'm understanding there's energy and that we're working with. I see the needles, they're not as scary as I thought they might be.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in, strengthening my immune system and maybe supporting, having less inflammation in my body. What kind of treatments would you be recommending, or a treatment plan to do that? Would it be the same for everybody or different?
Oh, definitely not the same for everybody. Okay. It just depends on exactly what part of your body isn't doing so well, what energy system needs some help, and how far gone it has gone. That would determine how many treatments you're going to need.
And how do you know that? Tell us some of the tools, because it's unusual in acupuncture. Again, the diagnostic tools that the doctors use are different from the diagnostic tools that you all use, acupuncturists. Yeah, so
some of the ways we do it is we feel the pulse on both sides. We're feeling for very specific things on the 3 different positions and a couple of different levels. Each organ system is represented here on the pulse. We also look at a person's tongue on the top and the back and underneath, and that tells us quite a bit. We interview you, we find out what's going on with you and how you're feeling and what kind of symptoms are happening for you. And we're also taking note, just looking at the person's face or their shen, the spirit that shows through their face, and whether it looks a little dull or does it look bright and shiny. That gives us a lot of information as well. So
okay, so you're doing those diagnostics on your client, and then you would determine from that what type of a treatment would be the most effective for for boosting my immune system, or
exactly. And also, another way that we're doing is we're sometimes palpating a channel, and if we find a spot that's like, that's really tender, that gives us information.
Okay.
So, and we're not only doing acupuncture, but acupuncture is kind of a fuller scope thing than just putting needles in. We're also looking at lifestyle, nutrition, herbal formulas. You might be prescribed an herbal formula for.
Yeah, so we have some of the just examples of bottles of herbal formulas that we have here at Serasana. After a treatment, they're only prescribed by our acupuncturists after there's been an evaluation done and a determination that this or another herb would be helpful as a supplement for treating whatever condition it might be.
Exactly.
In terms of treatment plans, do they vary widely? How does that work?
I mean, generally, if someone's coming in with a very acute situation, meaning it just sprung up and it's really strong, like maybe they came in with a sore neck because they slept on the wrong way.
Sure.
We're going to try to address it quickly, and we're going to try to get them in again as soon as it's feasible. So, either in a few days or within a week, get them back in to give them another treatment. And we may do that consecutively for, 3 to 6 weeks, just depending on how severe the situation is. And then there's maintenance treatment. So if someone's coming in with, they've already dealt with, we've dealt with the issue. We've been able to knock it down to some degree.
Sure.
But we want to keep their body in balance and in check. Then we might have them come in, twice a month just to get a treatment. And that helps to regulate all the systems, helps to alleviate stress, and it just helps to make you feel better and really connected with your own body.
And I think that's a very different approach than Western medicine, because in Western medicine, as we know, you're only going to the doctor when you're not feeling well and you're sick. So with the use of acupuncture, to continue to receive the benefits of it, it's really something that you can continue to do and dial in your health and your chi and the energy blockages, get them unblocked at a deeper and deeper level and continue to improve.
Exactly.
And address things very early on. That's what I've found.
Yeah, being proactive.
Be very proactive
Yeah.
so that you never get to that level of sickness that you might have gotten to without, the support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's important too, especially in these times when we've got this pandemic going on, is to be proactive, because the disease tends to take control of somebody's body if they're depleted, if they haven't taken care of themselves. And that's what that allows it a pathway to get in. So if you're, doing well, you're exercising, you're eating well, and you're coming in and getting your treatments, and you're getting your massage, and you're doing your yoga, then you're much less likely to have this thing have much of an impact on you.
Right. And so that's part of the reason that I opened Serasana, was because I wanted people to become more open to and avail themselves of these preventative measures so that we can stay in tip-top shape as much as possible and address things on the early end, because there's so much that you can do before something starts to get into a chronic pattern. And that's really when, Western medicine kicks in. So I would say acupuncture and other Eastern types of approaches help you, try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't seem to be just common sense, but I found, and many others, people that I know who use acupuncture, find it to be extremely stress relieving. So anxiety and stress is at an all-time high right now. Can you speak to how acupuncture can help with that?
Oh yeah, even if we weren't focusing on that, even if you were like coming in for maybe your back hurt or something.
Sure.
The whole process of the acupuncture session it's helping to alleviate stress. You just feel like you're able to go into a nice sort of almost a meditation.
Sure.
Once the needles are in, we've done our talking and all that stuff. And so it just makes a big shift in your psychology, your well-being. After treatment, you're like, I feel better. Not just my back, my overall feeling is better. So it's treating on a holistic level.
It is, and it seems counterintuitive. So when you tell people, okay, you're going to come in and you're going to receive needles, and you're going to, how would someone think that they were really going to feel less stressed and more relaxed after that? But it is true, and it is one of the most relaxing treatments that I've ever experienced, and can be deeply meditative as well. Yeah.
And it's really, it's getting your body to sort of step up and do the work it needs to do to heal yourself. We're a catalyst. When we put those needles in, that's a catalyst for the healing, but your body takes over and does the work.
And that's what is so great about it. It's actually harnessing your own power and energy to heal and restore yourself, which is That's one of the beauties of acupuncture.
Yeah.
So, well, we hope that you've really enjoyed this with us today, and we've answered some questions, and we're here and available. We have appointments available if you'd like to give it a try. We do offer a free consultation, and our appointments are usually a 50-minute appointment. And if this is something that you're considering, Serasana BK is here to support you during this time while you're focusing on strengthening the immune system and reducing your stress levels. So Kirsten, thank you so much for helping us to educate folks, and we hope that you'll consider acupuncture for your own health and well-being. So take care, everybody. I'll see if we have any questions here. I don't see anything right now. We see Sarika. Hi, Sarika. All right, no more questions. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.